Good evening, everyone. How are you? This is Rhonda J. Smith, certified holistic health practitioner and owner of Soul Delights, a company to help you to attain and maintain your health naturally. I am so happy to be with you this week. I hope you are breathing well. We talked about different ways to breathe to increase oxygen in our body. And that was part 4 of a series that I have been doing on oxygen availability for good health. So we talked about taking in oxygen through breathing. And previous weeks, we talked about getting oxygen through plants, exercise. And so tonight, I am talking about getting oxygen from foods that are good for oxygen. And I want to share with you just 6. And some of them aren't necessarily foods, they're minerals. So anything that you put into your body, that God put into this earth to help your body, those are some of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. And I want you to notice as I speak to you about certain things, you're going to hear some areas repeated. That's funny. You can see your hair on here. It's like, oh, that's sticking up, almost looking like alfalfa. For those of you who are familiar with that character, but actually, we are going to talk about that herb tonight, alfalfa, because that is one that is good. As a matter of fact, that's first. So let me just go on right into that. Alfalfa. It is an herb. It is known as, yes, a superfood, but it's good for just about anything. So this is something that you definitely want to make sure to have in your diet. It is a superfood. And it is a great source of chlorophyll. And I know a lot of you are familiar. Some of you may not have heard of chlorophyll, but just think of it as the blood of the plant. So the liquid part of any plant is considered chlorophyll. And the composition of it is very similar to human blood. So it helps to oxygenate your blood when you use chlorophyll, and it contains iron. So you can use the herb itself. You can use alfalfa sprouts. You can put that on a salad, and you can get it in a liquid form. I'm looking around because I had my bottle with me, but I left it in the other room. But you can get it in liquid form, and I do that. It's very potent in that form. Anything in liquid gets to your body very well. Jennifer says she loves alfalfa. Yes, it is so good for so much, especially if you need energy, but definitely it provides oxygen for your body. It oxygenates your blood. And we talked about in the past how blood carries oxygen throughout your body. So you need that. So again, you can get it in liquids, you can get it in capsules, and you can get it in various in foods, of course, by using alfalfa. You can use alfalfa. So the next area I want to talk about is thistle, blessed thistle. Sometimes you hear milk thistle. Well, this is also a herb that is good for the brain. Yes, Jennifer, it is great. It takes oxygen straight to the brain. And so you want to make sure that you're getting what you need. Yes, alfalfa is a superfood, Carlin, definitely. So we have alfalfa, blessed thistle, milk thistle. Again, it takes oxygen to the brain. We talked about alfalfa containing iron, but we can get iron from alfalfa, definitely, but this oxygenates red blood cells. Iron oxygenates red blood cells. So again, you heard me say alfalfa. I told you in the beginning, make sure that you're hearing the things that I repeat, because I like to tell my clients, you don't need to work harder, just smarter. And if you can get a big bang out of one particular item, then do that. Just try. So alfalfa is that one. Okay, you can get a lot for your buck with alfalfa in terms of your health, your natural health. So iron itself oxygenates red blood cells, and some of the food sources that you can get iron from, of course, are certain beans. So we have chickpeas, peas, kidney beans are some, pumpkin seeds, figs, spinach, beets. Again, so that again, they're red. A lot of things that are red mimic the colors in your body. So again, beets are good for your blood. They're good for your heart, give you energy. So those are some food sources for iron. And again, we mentioned, I already told you alfalfa, and there are several other herbs for that. Dandelion. I know a lot of times you like to get those weeds out of your yard with the dandelion, but harvest those if you don't put chemicals on your lawns. Forget about it if you put chemicals on your lawn, because I don't want you to get poisoned by the pesticides. But we don't treat our lawns, so I harvest the dandelions from my yard. You can get it in kelp, so it's in a lot of sea vegetables. Kelp is one sea vegetable, seaweed. Lemongrass, again, milk thistle is another one. So the list is extensive, but those are just a few that I wanted to share with you in terms of foods that you can get iron from. And of course, sometimes people's iron is low and the doctor prescribes it. So you just have to be really careful with that, because when you get that iron and you don't get enough water and other fiber pushing things through, you can get constipated. So you want to be really careful of that. So I'm going to share with you two B vitamins that are good. Now, even though whatever B vitamins that you may need, you may find that you need, you should get them. It's best to get them in a vitamin B complex. They just work better all together. But the two that I want to talk about that are good for oxygen are vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, and this helps to convey vital oxygen where it's needed in the body. So you can get this. I'm not a real big fan of dairy, but it is plentiful in yogurt, wheat germ, wheat bran. So any whole wheat products or whole grain products, I should say, you can get it in. Sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds just to snack on. Fish, nuts, asparagus. So there are a lot of things. And again, leafy green vegetables. Now, earlier I mentioned alfalfa in terms of chlorophyll, but any really leafy green vegetables provide that, because as I said, chlorophyll is the plant blood. So again, you hear me repeating leafy greens. I said alfalfa. Those are things that are being repeated. Keep that in mind. Again, you want to get the most for your buck in terms of being able to optimize your health. Optimize your health. And again, with the B1, the thiamine, guess what you can get that from also is alfalfa. Alfalfa is great. Alfalfa is great. Definitely a superfood. And garlic is one of my favorites. So you can also get B1 from that. The second B vitamin is B2, and this is riboflavin. Riboflavin is also known as B2, and it helps to facilitate the use of oxygen by transferring it to your tissues, the tissues of your skin, your hair, your nails, and this helps to eliminate dandruff. So that's good too. B2, right? Riboflavin. And then the last one that I want to share with you, and again, this is not an exhaustive list by any stretch of the imagination, but I wanted to give you these three because these six, these are the top, and I said three because these are three vitamins that I'm giving you, these last ones. But vitamin E, vitamin E. Vitamin E serves to conserve your energy and also to oxygenate your tissue. You remember I talked about the tissues, okay? Cells making up tissues, and tissues making up organs, and organs making up organ systems. So we want to make sure that we are supplying the life that we need to our body parts so that those parts live, and therefore so we live. Okay, so vitamin E, very essential. You can get this in avocados, almonds, bell peppers, butternut squash, leafy greens. I'm mentioning that again, spinach, and a whole host of it. And it cold pressed oils. So if you get cold pressed oils, those are the ones that aren't heat treated. So olive oils, you can get those. Coconut oils, these have a lot of vitamin E. And if you need to supplement with a supplement, not just food, you want to make sure that you get the D alpha tocopherol one. That is the most potent form of vitamin E. So you want to look for D alpha tocopherol. And and sometimes you may have to supplement, because even though I named all these foods that contain vitamin E, it really is hard to get an adequate amount of vitamin E from your food sources. So just to see if you have enough, you can just look up what is necessary for a woman in terms of how much of each vitamin she's supposed to give. So like the B vitamins, you need about 15 micrograms per day for those. So you want, again, want to look up exactly how much. I know my vitamin has, I think, 20 in it, and I exceed the amount. It's like 166%. So I'm getting more than enough. But again, these are the things that we need to take note of. The foods that are healthy to our bodies, that are providing oxygen. And this is something that we need during this time. We talk about COVID, and a few weeks ago, one of the focuses of the message that I gave to you on oxygen availability was what's snuffing out your air. And we talked about how stress can take away our oxygen and just cause us not to breathe. So we want to be intentional with trying to make sure we're taking in oxygen, and we can do that even through foods. So I'm going to just repeat the ones I talked about today. I mentioned alfalfa, particularly because it has chlorophyll in it. Chlorophyll is one, but you get that from vegetables, leafy green vegetables, but you also can get it in liquid form. Blessed thistle, iron, vitamin B1, also vitamin B2. And remember, the B vitamins are best taken in a B complex. They just help your body in a better way when they're all together. And then finally, vitamin E. Vitamin E. So Jennifer says she takes vitamin E every day with chlorophyll. Yes, that gives you energy. Jennifer, I thank you for sharing that, because you're testifying to what I'm saying, and I appreciate that. This is good to be able to have somebody to testify about what it is that we need for our bodies. This is very essential, and some of us take for granted. So I know Jennifer is she has been into health, natural health for years, and she and I exchange a lot of information. And sometimes we take for granted the things that we know, because sometimes it's just second nature to us. But what I recognize, that there's so many people who just don't know, and it's not as hard as you think. There's several people out here who can help you get what you need in terms of what knowledge you need, so that you will be able to live a life of optimal health. And so this is what I'm doing here with these videos, and of course with my one-on-one consultations. Again, my name is Rhonda J. Smith. I am a certified holistic health practitioner. Even though that title just came within the last year, I have been an advocate of natural health and healing for more than 25 years, having been able to help myself when doctors could not help me, when I had so many health concerns. But it was just the research that I did that allowed me to help myself, and fascinated me to allow me to be able to help other people. And so I don't want you to stop here. If you need help beyond this video, one on one, because I can give you a lot that's good for all of us, right? What I'm saying for to you is good for everybody, but everybody has a different body. And so you need one on one help many times. And I like to tell my clients, if you do what I recommend, you should not be my client for very long. And so if you're interested, and I do hope you will be, come to my website, www.souldelights.com. I do one-on-one consultations, and we can even do that in this time where we are in quarantine. I can do that virtually. I can take a look at your pantry and your refrigerator, make recommendations of what should and should not be there, and even help you at the grocery store. You know, we have all of the virtual technology that can help with that, but definitely even get an assessment so that I can help you look and determine what may be going on in your body, and to make suggestions to support your body's natural healing capacity. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the comments, and I look forward to you all coming back next week. The next few weeks, I'm planning to talk about supporting different organs and body systems, and maybe even looking at some things that ail us typically, and how the body needs certain things to help particular issues. So I'm still thinking about the terminology or the focus of it, but come back. My plan is still to be here next Friday at 6. So God bless you, and I hope to see you next time. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry, before I do get off, I will be on here next Friday for Soul Delights, but Monday I will be at the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated Alpha Rho Omega chapter page, Facebook page, and we'll be broadcasting there as we continue the series on We Help Each Other, virtual conversations on nutrition and wellness. And next week's focus is spiritual health. So I will be on there. So I hope you join me on Monday at 6 p.m. Again, God bless you. Thank you so much for watching.